I have been dating my best friend for a year, but I only found it out today. I decided that we should meet up in a public space. Before his practice, I sent him a text and asked if he wanted to meet up at a coffee shop we both know. He called, said yes and you sound serious, should I be worried? To which I said honestly yes, you should. He told me to stop joking and then went on to his practice. Fast forward a couple hours, I'm sitting there and he comes in, sits in front of me and thanks me for the food I ordered for him. We start eating. I'm a nervous wreck and he realizes, which led to him asking, "Are you really okay? You didn't seem good a while ago, and from what you said, I'm actually worried now," so I lay it out on him. I ask him why he thinks we're dating, why does everyone else, and what led to him thinking that. Now, he's just quiet and I'm just looking at him not saying anything. He said something like, "I didn't really think we could actually date if I asked you up front," to which I said that's how relationships usually work though, you ask, which led him on a tangent about women in general, talking about how terrible they are and how unvalued men are these days. He says women are stuck up. Opinions that he shared with me and said to my eyes with no regret. What I saw in front of me was no longer my best friend of 5 years, it was a boy who grew up to be a man and to have a very damaging idea of women. Stuff that I could assign to immaturity, but he had nicer things to say when he was 14 than what he told me now. I just interrupted him and asked what led him to think about women this way, since he never let his family, most predominantly his mother, influence him into these antiquated ideas. He was quiet for a while and that did give me some pity, until he opened that mouth of his again. There's these podcasts. That let me know everything I needed to. "Oh, so you're a Tate fanboy now?" He starts arguing and yelling that it's not him. But that they know what's right and wrong, how things should be, and to be honest, I'm not really listening to him at this point, I just want to get out of there and cry. I'm listening, but nothing is registering. Some of the milder things he started yelling are about women and our relationship with food and how we should have a limited amount, how we're so vulnerable and emotional, ready to blame men for everything, and how we start yelling at every minute inconvenience, how menstrual stuff was a hoax and that I was no doubt lying when I couldn't walk from my period pains because I wanted his attention, and that no girl can possibly feel a greater pain than a man getting hit in the manhood. He also said that when we were talking about his course, something to do with car parts, it was not cute and sweet of me to act dumb and pretend I'm clueless, because that does not make me more appealing. I tell him that if this is all a big joke, it's not funny. He interrupts me and talks about how he listens to these men but doesn't tell anyone because he knows I and our friends wouldn't agree, tells me I'm not a perfect woman but that he would still like to date me but couldn't tell me because I'd say no and ruin his fantasy. I'm crying at this point and people are noticing, so I just want to get out of there immediately. I tell him, "You're so effing stupid, you genuinely could have dated me, if only you had asked. You could have had everything but you started listening to opinions of guys who have nothing. How sad can you be to pull a stunt like this instead of asking like a normal person?" He starts yelling that I'm wrong and they know what is right, starting a whole rant that I don't have the strength to listen to. I stand up, start walking, and he grabs my arm. More people are staring. I tell him to let go and he only does when I threaten to call the police. I left telling him to never speak to me again. I am now home. I've blocked him on everything and told some friends what happened.